Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm sitting here just reflecting early in the morning here, Sunday morning, and I'm sitting back here reflecting. And I'm reflecting on a lot of good stuff. And I'm reflecting on people that influenced me as a young kid. Now, we know about the three who I idolize the most with anything else. And I idolize one person, and I used to watch wrestling as a kid, and that's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. When I first watched wrestling as a kid, and I knew, I saw this man dressed in a robe, walking around in a robe, doing woo, woo. I was very impressionable. And the one man that I idolized the most is definitely Richard Flair, or Richard Fleur, better known as Ric Flair. Charismatic and very, very to the T. And that is what pretty much got me started in doing the Gorgeous George show. I had a lot of that playful attitude, a lot of that charismatic attitude. And like I said, when we started the show, like I said in the book of what's causing all this, it was more of a rebellious stage. More like of a rebellious stage that I was going through, and I wanted to piss people off. I was in just got out of a bad relationship with an Asian girl. And I was, trying to find myself in my 20s. Sitting there watching the TV set and getting into character. Now I am pretty much, that character is me. I don't go around going woo, 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 woo. But, the character is not much of a character. It is my persona. But I don't go around saying how beautiful I look, how gorgeous I look. And I not like in an everyday gathering of people, I'm going to say, "Ooh, baby," look at the man that's causing all this, because I'm a whole lot older, and things are not the way they used to be. But you sit there and you have to laugh, because it was a very impressionable time. And when I was in high school, when I graduated high school, I had bleached blonde my hair for about a year and a half to 2 years. And my dad said to me, "What the hell are you doing, boy?" And I just said, it's Ric Flair. And of course, my dad was a big wrestling fan as well. One thing about my dad, he used to love when Saturday mornings came, we were glued to that TV set. And the one thing that me and my dad would sit down and watch wrestling. And I tell you what, and he was also a big Ric Flair fan too, my dad. And me being a Ric Flair fan, of course, then you had the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So if you heard the term babyface and heel, well, you had people like American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat that were babyface. And then you had, of course, Ric Flair being the heel. But Ric Flair was a funny heel. The one-liners, his persona brought him over. With me, I kind of also had the gift for gab. I had that way about me. I had that gift for gab. So a lot of the Gorgeous George was the Nature Boy. A lot of Gorgeous George, the character, was the Nature Boy, because again, I looked up to that man like a god. I looked up to that man like an absolute god. And so, hence the character. And again, it's not all a character, it's me. I've always been confident. I'm the kind of person, when you tell somebody that they're never going to do it, they're never going to get it, you kind of rise above and you get it. So when you told me the odds of me were against me, I had to prove you wrong. And that's how I was at a young age. When someone told me, nah, you're never going to get that date, you're never going to date her. And when I dated her, I proved everybody wrong. I had that in me. I felt like I had to prove the world wrong. So I did. So it's funny when you sit back and you look at and you realize, as a kid, who influenced you. And you look back who influenced you, and the Nature Boy Ric Flair definitely influenced me. So, I don't know. And I think about my father. My father, like I said before a million times, he was a genius. He was a chemist. And he wanted the best for me. My father, there was a big age difference between me and my father, 50-year age difference. But he wanted me to succeed, and he wanted me to be the best person I can be, which is still there. And I did what I did. I made a few mistakes, but I still was on a path. And I think that he would be proud of me, into some regard. He'd be proud of me knowing that that I've had some accomplishments. But I can hear his voice in the back tell me, "Boy, what the hell are you doing now?" And it's just, I think with my father, there was a difference, a big age difference. But one thing that my father instilled in me is, you can be who you want to be, just get her done. You can be the man you want, just be the man and get the job done. And granted, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've also flourished and had a lot of good times in my life, a lot of good times, a lot of good memories in my life. But yeah, NWA wrestling, and you look at the fact that when people in the 80s thought of Hulk Hogan, they thought of Hulk Hogan when they thought of wrestling. And then they didn't really think of the true technician of the way wrestling used to be, which wrestling used to be very scientific. In the days of Dory Funk Jr., the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk, people of like Harley Race, Wahoo McDaniels, people that really instilled the wrestling, that were wrestlers that knew the scientific way of wrestling, not this cartoon that that Vince McMahon projected back with the WWF. But merging the NWA with the Crockett's and Vince McMahon, it kind of there was two different wrestling entities with a lot of minor wrestling groups in between. But yes, Ric Flair was definitely a great influence on my persona as a kid. Ric Flair was definitely a great influence on my childhood. And the man is a national treasure, as far as I'm concerned. Always will be. Nothing but the ultimate respect. The man of being an entertainer. And that's what he is. I mean, one of the greatest entertainers of them all. Anyway, Sunday morning, a lot going on, and going to get ready to start the day. But just something to think about. Reflecting. Just sitting back and reflecting on what is and what was. And just to strive to be the best person you can be every day, every morning, and every night.